Well, we are here today, and there's something. When I was younger, really, I had this thing. I think I was very stubborn. That is what I think. I don't know what my mother thinks, but I would cause a lot of trouble around the neighborhood, and my mother being very tough. Every time they would be telling me, "We are going to tell your mother," and that telling my mother was a typical African woman. So there, I would know this is the end of it. But I would quickly rush and tell my mom what I have done, so that we can finish it there before people come and see them caning me to really be embarrassed. But there was a fear, so every time they would tell me that, then I would know I am finished. But somehow they would push me there to go and actually report myself. So I don't really fear very many things. I was telling my friend that it is so hard to blackmail me because I will surely report myself. That's something that probably many should opt. But today, my name is Annie TK, and welcome to the Manifest Academy. Today I have come with Essie Clara.
Oh yes.
Oh, and you will be happy to hear what she has to say. And we're going to talk about fear. Fear, because that is something that will really, really limit most people, most of us. There is something we fear. There is something we really fear. Last time we talked about worry, but there is actually a difference between worry. Worry, you are just worried about even the action itself. But fear may really be about the consequences. So I was looking out for fear, and you see it's an emotion. Those are among the negative emotions that we actually talked about some time back, if you remember. But this one is triggered by a perceived threat or danger. It is a perceived threat. You have seen the end of it, and you are worried of what will be the outcome. Fear is something really people shouldn't really go by.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I mean, yes, like you said it, that fear is it's a perception of danger. It's triggered by you perceiving danger. So that means usually you're afraid because you're looking at the end thing, and it's that end thing that you're now scared of. You're scared of the outcome of the action, not necessarily the action, but you see where it's headed, and that's what you're scared of. Which, like you said, we should not be driven by it because it's not a good thing. Yeah.
By the way, you look like, I don't know, have you ever feared to be something?
I don't think there's
feared.
I don't think there's anyone that has never feared to do anything. But now that you ask me, maybe the vivid memory that I have of a time that I was terrified, is I think when I was at the start of 2023 last year, I was changing jobs. I had been seeking to change a job, and finally God brings an opportunity. Now, I may not have mentioned, but I'm a lawyer. So typically, when someone hears a lawyer, you're thinking a law firm. You're working in a law firm mainstream, you're going to court, those things. So it becomes a bit weird and unheard of when someone comes out and says, I'm changing a job and opting to go in-house and leave the mainstream. So not many people would receive it in a nice way, if I should say that. So if you're looking for advice, oftentimes you're going to be told to step foot in a law firm.
Yeah.
So here I am, I've gotten a job, but the job is out of the ideal situation. It's out of what people would call ideal. So I was terrified. I thought maybe I'm going to fail, because I remember I reached out to a few lawyers to get some advice, and of course the response I was getting is, you're going to become a failed lawyer. You're being a lazy lawyer. The job you're going to is for people that... I had so much that made me doubt my decision, that made me doubt the move, but I knew it in my heart that this is the right move, this is the right time. I have sought God on it. I've sought counsel from people that I hold in high regard, and I know for a fact it's the right decision. But because it was not ideal, and it's not something that people are used to, when you hear it should be in a law firm, it felt wrong, and as a result I was so scared. But here we are, when I took the leap, and I can say I'm very happy with my decision. I would make the same decision if I had the chance to.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Oh, wow. Now that's something. And those are some of the things that people out there are actually worried about. They fear very many things, like switching jobs, switching places of work. There's that discomfort that comes.
Yeah.
But I also found out that there are actually very many things that people fear. And some of them can be like poverty, maybe they can be like criticism, fearing criticism. Now criticism, something something you probably shouldn't feel, because we have to criticize whether you like it or not.
Oh yeah.
Esther was actually telling me that it would actually be helpful for you if we criticize.
Yeah. Because you find that sometimes it's a criticism that pushes you. It's a motivation you need. Because you know that people think you're going to fail, you work even harder to make sure you succeed, so you don't prove them right. Yeah.
So you don't prove them right.
Yeah.
Now that should be something the basis to make you really fight.
And I think that's why there's actually something called constructive criticism.
Constructive. Some people who they don't want to be constructive, they are the cause of your death.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Yeah, so it can be two ways. It's a bit different.
So yeah, some things that people fear are bad health, losing love. Losing love. Now some people losing love, you know that they don't even get into the love, the relationship, because they are more worried about the end
of the relationship.
No, let's meanwhile the bad end.
Yeah.
Or if they're worried about, okay, there'll be a wedding and children, they're worried about
They're scared it will end in tears.
yes. When it will end in tears. That is maybe not. Others are worried, they actually fear old age. They fear old age.
Can I tell you a story? Recently, I was reaching out to a few people that I live, and I was just asking them about their ages. Like, tell me your exact age, because I was collecting information for a particular purpose. But the suspicion, why are you asking about my age? Why? Like, it seemed like people are actually scared of their ages. Like, you're going to find out at a certain age, you're going to start looking at me differently. Like, it's a problem if you're growing up. Yeah. And
So
yeah.
people fear age. Okay, age. But age is just a number. At least you can depend on my consolation. It is just a number that keeps increasing. So some people fear bad health. Yeah, people fear bad health. But also people fear death. People really fear death. Like we fear death. Oh, you want me to go there and die? You want me to do this and die? But that's the part where you do the thing and you say, if I die, I die.
But you know, also, I think the reason why people fear death is because the world has sort of created an illusion where death has to come in pain. Either you feel sick or you have a bad accident and it's painful and all those things. We forget that in the Bible there are people that just went to sleep.
But they just went to sleep.
Run their race and just...
Personally, me, the death piece that I would look at is, I wouldn't really fear to die. But I would feel like, me who has died, I'm not even feeling the pain whatsoever.
Yeah.
I have rested. But now the people you leave, like, you know, the effects, those who died on us and left us. You know, we felt a lot of pain. So I would feel like, I'm also going to cause that much pain. Maybe that would be it. That's what I would probably feel.
That's
like,
where the fear comes from.
That's where the fear would come from. But yeah, how would you go to heaven if you don't die?
Right?
So, but yeah, we have also some ways that we can actually control fear, how you can manage the fear, control the fear. We do not deny that some things you will fear. Fear will come. But how do you control it? Also, before even fear, considering that we are Christians and so are you, it is important to note that fear is not something of God. It is not something of God. Because for God on His own, He has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and of sound mind.
Yes.
If you notice that the power we have, the power is within us. As I keep telling you, we have that power. But you see, the reason you fear is because you do not know that the power lies within you. God has given you His entire self. He has given Himself, like that's the power. And love. Love is the strongest emotion. Like there's nothing you can do out of the ordinary without love.
Yes.
Yesterday I was speaking to some other mompreneurs actually, and they were talking about the passion of Christ. Like it was that love that actually drove Him to die for us. Even for that, passion is a great thing. They are men who can do things for the people they love. They can die for them. Okay, I hope we can do that. But yeah, that's what we love. Yeah, now those are some of the strong things, and of sound mind. Sound mind, this is your mind, because even the devil, whatever he's fighting, even the fight of fear, it happens in the mind. That is where everything is playing at. That is the battlefield, the mind. Now you have a sound mind because you can differentiate what you can do, the power you have been given, and the love that lies within you. So I want to talk about how you
can control that fear.
Tell me, Esther, how should we control fear?
You know, Annette, I realized that fear comes from oftentimes because, okay, how else would you be afraid of something you've not yet done? It's possibly because you had feedback from someone else that has tried it and maybe seeing what had consequences that are negative, and now you're scared of the same thing happening to you. Yeah, if I'm let me say I'm afraid of jumping off a cliff, it's because I have seen that when people jump off the cliff, they fall and die. And
no one is flying.
No one is flying. So I will be afraid. So oftentimes, because fear is derived from experiences of other people, now we also don't want to try that thing. Yeah. So how to control it is try to think for yourself. Not try, actually think for yourself. Think from your own perspective. Your circumstances are different. There's no one else in the world that has existed at a time such as this with your same exact personality, with your same circumstances. No. So that automatically makes your circumstances different from everyone else.
Yeah.
Yes. So you have to think for yourself.
For yourself.
Yes.
I also think you can focus on what you can control. Certain things, they are not in your power to control. Like criticism, for example. People have to criticize. It may be positive, but I have a friend who really fears criticism. She kept telling me, but how do you, what do people say? I said, people will say. Even I will say. But the point is, I have to still do it. I still have to keep sending videos, even if you have something to say. Yeah. Could be constructive or not constructive. So.
And as we talk about what you can control, also, sometimes the things that we can't control are things that we can't control.
Exactly.
That's why you need to trust God, because you can't control everything. You might not be able to control whether it will rain or shine on your wedding as you try to decide whether to put your reception outside. But you can go to God who has the power to control the winds.
That's the part where you trust God.
Yeah.
Yeah. You trust God.
Focus on what you can control, you do what you can, and you trust God with the rest. That's why He tells us not to worry.
Yeah. Not to worry. Not to be afraid. Trust in me and also trust in my Father. Hey, yeah. So you can also look out for those who have achieved those things that you want. I was telling Esther that some, like, what if I have something unique and I want to invent flying humans? Like, what do I do? No one has invented that. So how do I look at someone who has achieved it?
Well, like you said, it's an impossibility. So, but there are people that have created impossibilities before. It might not be your exact impossibility, but they have gone against odds when nothing was in their favor. Right now we have a man, Elon Musk, who is trying to take human beings to the moon. What do you think motivates him?
I don't know.
At a point when no one knew anything that about cars or that we could travel through the air and not fall, someone invented an aeroplane. So maybe that's something that Elon Musk is looking at, that the same way someone invented something out of something that has not existed before. It's the same way we can also find a way of creating a path where it has not existed before. So you might not be drawing, the person may not have done exactly what you have done, but what you want to do. But they have overcome the odds, they have beat the odds. So,
and also if you have your things that you feel like they're odds, you will also be able to beat the odds.
yeah.
Well, also it's a good thing to amplify the voices of those who believe in you. There is always someone, but I have some nice friends. I actually have very nice friends. I don't know. But there are some good friends who, even sometimes I feel like, hey, honestly, and they are really going to, they're really going to support you in that cause, whatever it is, as long as they're supporting you, they are going. When I was thinking about it, I said, oh, these are very good people. You know, we like when they are supporting us. When they're criticizing us, what is wrong with that?
Bad people.
Bad people. But I think, like you said, the positive criticism also knows where it comes. You're not going to hold the microphone and criticize me negatively. Come to me, tell me what I need to fix. I also have those ones. Also, the positive criticism, I also have them, and those are the people. But yeah, there are those people
that are
your cheerleaders. So you should amplify those voices because they keep you going. They keep you really, really going. Do you have any cheerleaders?
Cheerleaders. Definitely.
Do they have these things?
They don't necessarily have these things, but they're the people that remind me of what I'm capable of what I've achieved. Like someone will sit you down and say, but you, Esther, do you know what you can achieve? I could not believe that you let this thing happen. I remember like that example I gave of having to leave my job. There's people I reached out to, and they were like, by the time you are able to do this thing, God can surely not send you out and not give you the grace for it. If He has given you a certain territory, He will give you the dominion over it and will give you the grace to take over it. You cannot be afraid of failing. You're a child of God. You can't fail. And I was so encouraged. I actually helped him through that, like my life depended on it. Every time I would doubt, I said I'm a child of God. I cannot fail. So yeah, those are the cheerleaders that I've had in my life, and I have so many.
Well, let's start. You have these ones.
Yeah.
These ones. With
Those
the
are
skipping
called-
skirts, the
Yeah, and they do
Those are your
routines and
kind.
what? Yes.
So those are your kinds because they seem like they encourage you. Employment
Yes,
thing, it's not
yes.
so easy to encourage. I also understand that some people discourage others for really, but they are weak faith. They're spreading
Yeah.
weak faith to people.
Yeah. That's why it's
Yeah.
important to have a faith company. Your
Company
faith
where you
company,
encourage
your
people who are
cheerleaders.
really strong. in
Yeah.
believing. So what would be your parting shots telling them about fear?
Well, the parting shot about fear, it's just number one, you won't die. Number two, you will not die. Number three, if you break your bones, we'll take you to the hospital, we'll put them back, and you will be back to running. Yeah, like you said, fear is just a perception. So it's a 50-50. It might work out, it might not work out, but you will not know if it is going to work out unless you try it. Right? Unless you try it, you won't know if
You won't
it
know
could
what's
have
happening.
worked out. And you're left in a state of what if,
What
what if, what if. Yeah. So
The
try
what if
it.
syndrome.
You won't die, but don't jump off.
That
of
will
10 floors of buildings. That's what I'm trying. You will die.
Human, flying human.
You will die.
Well, not in my country. Do not jump over the cliff. In USA, okay, from the movies, not too much. You can jump. They bring those
They'll
bubble
put a
big chibabos. Please don't. The government loves you. In my country, okay, just don't jump.
Just don't
jump.
try it.
Just don't jump. That will be okay. Well, that was it for today. And like I was telling you, if you fail, you do it. You fail, you do it. Do not fear failure.
What is failure? What is failure?
All those that have actually achieved success that we know of today, they have failed very many times and they don't talk. We don't get to know the times they have failed.
Yeah.
But we only know when they're up there and we think they came out of it.
Go and read about the man that started KFC, the famous KFC, and see how many times he tried.
Well, you like to eat KFC. So well, subscribe, and invite more people to subscribe. Share with them because they possibly have something with here. And like, comment on that notification button. Let you know every time we have something that we say. Have a lovely day.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Bye bye.